Coping with Tre Tailor, giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life, because we'll always be coping with something. Coping. Good afternoon, happy holidays, and thank you so much for joining us on Coping. I'm Tre Tailor, and today we are going to rebroadcast a show we did about Kwanza from last year. It's with the folks from House of Hathor. Now, they were located at a different location last year when we did the original interview, and they're still on North Main, but they're at a brand new location. And although you may hear me reference their old location, Charity, our producer, will have the new location not only scrolling at the bottom of the screen, but on the screen. We've got brand new shows tomorrow and Friday, though. The Boykin sisters, young girls singing hip hop country, are going to join us tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're going to continue our series on Happy Holidays, Less Stress by talking about exes, co-parenting, and blended families. That's something we deal with a lot these days, and it may cause you some stress, especially around the holiday season, but we're going to try to help you through it. That comes up later on this week. But first, we have got our Kwanza celebration rebroadcast as we celebrate Kwanza. That's next on Coping. I'm Tre Tailor.
Hi, I'm Judy Gatson. As a news anchor, wife, and mom, I know how important it is to take care of our health. Part of taking care of our health is knowing if you're at risk of type 2 diabetes. Prediabetes is a serious health condition and puts you at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. It's estimated that more than 1.3 million South Carolinians have it, and up to 90% have no idea. Take a moment to visit inittogethersc.org to take an online test to find out your risk of prediabetes and how to join a diabetes prevention program that takes the guesswork out of losing weight, eating better, and being more active. You can learn new ways to stay healthy and sustain those changes over time. When you join, you'll even get support from a trained lifestyle coach to help you set and achieve realistic goals. Go to inittogethersc.org, brought to you by the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina.
Computers, they're a part of our everyday life, but when they're not working, they're an everyday problem. So call Computers Unique, your everyday solution. 803-351-5821. Is your computer running slow, won't turn on? Do you need a screen replaced? Or maybe you just need another computer? Well, Computers Unique is your one-stop shop for all your computer needs. They have a wide variety of new and pre-owned PCs, Macs, and tablets. So call Computers Unique, Dutch Square Mall. 803-351-5821. 803-351-5821. Coping with Tre Tailor, giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life, because we'll always be coping with something. Coping. Hey there, you're watching Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. Hey, don't forget that we are streaming on the Tailor Made production page on Facebook. Please go over there, hit like and share and follow so that you can get your notifications as when to watch Coping, which is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 2 p.m. And then our first Monday with comedian George Wallace. We're also streaming live on YouTube. Hello to all of you YouTubers. Thank you so much for joining us. And also we have a presence on Instagram and on Twitter. I am here with Jimmie Wright. We're here at the House of Hathor. Is it Hathor or Hathor? Hathor, the House of Hathor. And if you live in Columbia, South Carolina, it's on North Main Street in Greenview Plaza. You can see some footage of this beautiful shop. It's so much more than an African store, yeah. Jimmie. It's a cultural community center, I guess.
Yes.
I mean, and
you said it right.
Yeah, and you can truly buy oils and clothing and products and earrings and all types of things. Beautiful art, as you can see. But Jimmie also has it set up like if you want to come and you've got your laptop and you want to do some work and want to be in a beautiful atmosphere as this is, you can come and bring your laptop and do that too. Today, we're speaking to Jimmie about Kwanza. Of course, Kwanza is the 7-day celebration right after Christmas. Tell us a little bit about Kwanza.
Well, Kwanza was established in 1966 by Malana Karinga. Mm-hmm. And the whole purpose for Kwanza was to help us to establish a cultural presence, right, to regain the cultural presence that we once had. for our communities, because the communities were not united culturally anyway. And so he designed it so that we could come together and establish these principles of Kwanzaa, the foundation of Kwanzaa, and have a better understanding about where does culture exist within us. Because culture is not just a place of where you can establish a frame of reference. Culture is what's within us as well, and we carry it with us wherever we go.
Absolutely.
And so that was the whole purpose. It's called, Kwanzaa's meaning is called first fruits. So first fruits is talking about planting the seeds for tomorrow, today, knowing that in later years, that same culture, that same seed is going to build and manifest and create, sustain itself, in that particular environment. And so culture has to do with our environment more so than anything else.
Tell us a little bit about the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. It starts, like I said, the day after Christmas.
Day after Christmas.
And this is something that anyone really can participate in, take part of, just to, bring them closer to our ancestry as African Americans. Yes.
Anyone, we say that we can't stop anybody from taking part in it, but it's really for us. This, it's kind of like, when you go to different festivals, those festivals are celebrating their culture.
The Jewish festival, the Greek festival. Everybody can participate, but it's really for them.
It's really for them. Exactly right. So Kwanzaa is for us. And so what we want to do is that we want to express, what that looks like for us in our everyday life. Even though we celebrate Kwanzaa the 26th through the 1st, we should be celebrating these principles every day. Every day, and celebrate or live the principles every day, and then celebrate what you have lived at the end of the week.
That's good. I love it, because you know what? This is the time right after Christmas, going into the new year, where you can kind of like start with wherever you are, whether you have always celebrated Kwanzaa or not. This is a great time to start, and like you said, put those principles in practice. So that you can do them throughout the year. So, okay, the first principle of Kwanzaa.
First principle, that's this middle candle, that's the black candle. That is what we call umoja.
Umoja. Now, let's go backwards. So this is called, because this is what, you don't have to have it, but it would be great if you had it, right?
This is called a kanara. The kanara is the foundation of what holds the principles together. So let's say if you would liken this to a body, this is our body. Each one of these principles are the principles that we hold within us. And so when we speak of unity, which is umoja, then we want to make sure that we are uniting the different aspects of who we are. Our mental, our physical, our emotional, our spiritual, and our ancestral self. And when we unite ourselves together, now, once we can do that, then we can also unite ourselves with other people. But we have to recognize what unity we have to have within us first. Then you go from left to right.
So umoja is unity.
Unity is umoja.
All right. Umoja. So you light the candle, and then what do you do with unity? Do you make a commitment to?
Make a commitment. So let's say if the family is together, the family would speak about umoja. What about umoja will you say that you did this past year? So we're talking in the past. So you and I should be able to talk about what we did for Umoja this past year. What type of things did we do to unite with our community or with family this year? And then we should be able to speak about it. Okay. And so we're talking about, again, first fruits. What fruits did we plant last year that we can speak of this year? Okay. All right. And then after Umoja, left to right, the next candle will be the green candle, which is Kujichakulia, which is self-determination. Okay, so when I think of self-determination, I always think about nature. Sometimes when we're walking along the sidewalk and we see a plant that has come up through the concrete, that's self-determination. That plant was able to come up through the soil as well as the concrete to have life. Survival. So regardless, in what group of people can you think of that still to this very day have so many different things, that challenges and obstacles that we're going through? We are that plant that's coming through that concrete, that we are showing self-determination. We don't even recognize how much self-determination that we're having as a people, as families and communities, going through all of the different oppressive things that we've gone through. And we're still here. We're still here.
And still going through it.
Still going through it. That's right. and still going through it. That's exactly right. And so that is Kujichakulia.
So during the second day of Kwanzaa, Kujichakulia, self-determination, are we not only celebrating our self-determination, but also committing to continue to
sustain and
to
maintain
Yeah.
self-determination.
Yeah.
We're talking about not only for self, but self-determination for the family, self-determination for the community.
Yeah.
And so we have to have, it has to be something that's sustainable and supported. So it's hard for you to do that for yourself.
Yeah.
But you can show that you can be the example of it.
Yeah.
Still.
Oh, so I love that. So it's you again, you acknowledge your self-determination, whether it be yours or your ancestors or whatever.
Yes.
And then commit to not only continuing to do that for you, but then to bring somebody else along.
That's exactly right.
And that may mean just encouraging somebody.
That's all it means.
Yeah.
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 And even I play on words a lot. So when you speak of encourage, we're talking about something that's inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Encourage,
Mm-hmm.
instill, inspire, influence, enlighten.
Yeah.
Everything happens inward.
Inward. But you gotta have it in.
But you gotta, you can't help nobody else first until you learn how to help yourself.
That's right.
That's right.
That's
So
right.
it's
That's the end.
That's the end. No matter how it's spelled,
Yeah.
we're talking about this the spirit of the word. The spirit of the word means in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, and the third day.
Okay, the third day, it will be the red
Go
candle.
to the red.
Go
so you
to
go
the
black, red, black, red. We'll go
Black,
black, green, red,
green,
red,
red.
green,
Yes.
red. Okay.
So the next day is Ujima,
Ujima.
which is collective work and responsibility.
Collective work and responsibility.
Yeah, Ujima speaks to what our responsibility and what I say. Again, I take it a step further than what is meant to. I'm thinking about everything that's intrinsic. So we're talking about collectively working together,
Mm-hmm.
Using our abilities to respond back to life, what life has given to us.
Mm-hmm.
So as we go through our challenges and our choices, this is what life has given us.
Yeah.
What abilities have the Creator and our ancestors? What have they given us to where we can respond back to life in a positive manner so that we can show growth?
Yeah.
Because we're responsible not only for ourselves, but responsible for our families and our community.
Yeah, yeah. That even goes back to the last principle, Kujichagulia.
Yes.
And I love that all of these principles, I mean, these are something I know I grew up with it,
Yes.
heard about it, read about it in school, and but they're not principles we always really focus on.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Listen, because after December, after January, sometimes we put it up and we
That's
don't,
exactly right. Yes.
But I am committed because I've got these babies now to, really kind of be more conscientious. But
Yes.
what I was going to say is that, collective work and responsibility. Okay, collective.
That's right.
Work and the responsibility.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So how do we respond back to life with our abilities?
Mm-hmm. Collectively.
That's right. Collectively. And so that's what Ujima speaks of.
Yeah.
It speaks to those things that are innate inside of us that we should work together with so that we can make life better, not only for ourselves, but for our families and our communities.
It's so important. It's so important to work together. I know oftentimes people are afraid of working together. They're
Yes.
afraid somebody's going to steal their idea
That's
or
right.
something. And sometimes that does happen.
It does happen. It does. Yes.
But I think if we come to the place with a pure,
Yes.
honest intent,
That's right.
I think you draw to you
Yes.
what you bring out.
There you go.
And you will find that right person or persons or
That's right.
whatever, or entity or whatever,
Yes.
so that you can do that collective work and responsibility.
That is correct.
All right, so we go back to the green for the fourth day.
So we go back to green for the fourth day, which is Ujama.
Ujama.
Ujama is cooperative economics.
Mhm.
That is for us to build, sustain, and maintain an economic status in our community that reflects our cultural worldview.
Right.
And so that is the one, this is probably one of the most important areas that we are showing that we don't have as of yet, but we're working on.
Yeah.
We're working on it because if we don't have anything that can establish a cultural worldview for ourselves, then what example do we have for our children to sustain and maintain as they get older?
Yeah.
And so we have to have something that reflects us, so that our families, we can create institutions and industries that are in our community. We can have valuable economics for our children and those who want to work. Well, if you don't create the environment for them, then what examples do we have for our children?
Yeah.
And how do we sustain and maintain our communities without the economic status?
And is this correct? That doesn't necessarily mean, if you are entrepreneur, definitely that means, be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
But even within your own profession.
Yes.
And at the house.
At the house. That's
right.
right. That's
so
right.
that means making sure you have a savings plan.
That's right. That's right.
Making sure you're investing, making sure you teach your children.
That's exactly
how to do that.
That's exactly
right.
Oh yeah. Well, again, establish. If you can't establish it at home, then it's going to be hard for you to establish it anyplace else.
Absolutely.
So we need to learn about that. As a matter of fact, we have certain businesses that we do. We don't even, money never exchanges hands. We do service for service.
Yeah, barter.
Yeah, thank you. The barter system. So, that's something that was particular to us, where we used to barter all the time. Okay, so we do some of that even now. As a matter of fact, I remember I have uncles that used to, one was an electrician, one was a carpenter, one was a brick mason. Well, they were building homes for the family, and money stayed right there in the family. So that means that the dollar bill was turning over within the family. And that's what we're talking about, even in our community. How long does the dollar last in our community? There was a time in the Black community that the dollar stayed in our community for 18 months. 18 months.
That's great.
We can't even keep it for a day now. Yeah. And so we have to get back to those industries and institutions that sustain our community. Yeah.
And there are several options. I mean, is there a Black grocery store? No, not in Columbia. There are some Black grocery stores in other places. So there are going to be places you can and cannot support, but those you can support them.
Yes.
And here's the other thing I want to chime in, because we will often, we are such an unforgiving people.
Yes.
If we have one bad experience or 10 bad experiences, we just throw our hands up.
That's right.
And if you have a bad experience someplace else, you don't throw your hands up. Because you got to do that service.
That's right.
And yes, there are people who are not true and not they're not true to their craft.
That's right. That's right.
Let's not fake the funk, but there are people who are. So let's find them,
That's right. And let's create them.
Yes, and let's create them.
If we can create more than one entity or two entities that have that particular profession, now you have options.
Yeah.
But if we don't create the options, then it leaves you to decide whether I'm gonna go someplace else and get service. Because we all are servant and service leaders.
Yeah.
And so when we go with that mindset, then we do become better service leaders or service oriented people for our own people, for our own community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to take. But somebody has to teach that.
Yeah.
So again, that means that you have to have the example, the businesses, to be able to teach it, or employ people to teach it to them so that they can go out and do greater things themselves.
We're here with Jimmie Wright. We're at the House of Hathor, Main Street, Columbia. It's a beautiful establishment that sells African clothing, cultural. I won't even say African cultural clothing, candles, scents. I wish you could smell how great it smells in here. Also, you name hair products, jewelry, you name it. It is here for kids and adults. And there's also a place here if you want to just kind of chill and do some work. Internet access, you can bring your laptop and do some work. So please stop by. We're talking about Kwanza, which is the 7 days after Christmas that is celebrated. And we've been talking about the 7 principles of Kwanza, and we're now up to the 5th day.
We're up to the 5th day. The 5th day is Kuumba. I'm sorry. No, it is Nia.
Nia, purpose.
Yeah, purpose. Everything that we do is based on purpose. Actually, and it starts from what you said earlier. It starts from our intentions.
Yeah.
Whatever the intentions are, which actually what we say is that your intentions are the one thing that you come to this earth with. Based on your intentions, your purpose leads the way. It becomes the process that you use in order for you to live out your intentions.
Right.
So, purpose has to do with recognizing that when I wake up in the morning, my purpose is to get dressed, to get myself ready to come to the store and be a true servant, service leaders for my community. So that is my purpose for the day. Whatever else that I do is added to that. Yeah. But I must make sure that I know that my purpose is to open up the store and make sure that I'm serving the people in my community.
You know what else I think, Jimmie? I'm sitting up here thinking you have to be intentional about your purpose every day. Yeah. Every day. I know with the children, we wake up and we say our prayer. We and we do our affirmations.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, we even make a little song about it. I will follow the rules today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's something that you are purposeful about every day, and it's so easy to get up and just get dressed, brush your teeth, and get on out the door. Without even saying thank you, Father. Thank you, Creator, for waking me up. I want to do this today. This is my purpose today.
Yes.
You got to be intentional.
Well, and my intentions every day is that I know that I'm going to pray 5 times today.
Wow, that's good.
We do it when we wake up.
Yeah.
I do it before I leave the house. I do it when I come to the store. I do it before I leave the store, and then I do it when I get home.
Yeah. That's good.
And I make sure that I do that every day.
Yeah.
So that I can stay protected, guided, enlightened, nurtured, directed.
Yeah.
All these things happens from doing intentional things.
You know, I love that you say that. I don't want to scare people off. You know, you say, I pray 5 times a day. I can hear somebody say, well, I ain't got time for all that. You don't have to go in a corner, get on your knees and pray.
No, you don't.
You can do it in your car.
Yeah.
You can just say, Father, thank you so much for helping me drive. Lord, help protect me from the traffic. Help get me to where I have to do.
That's right.
You have to go safely.
That's right.
You know, it doesn't have to be a formal big thing.
No, it
don't. Prayer is just conversation and communication.
That's right.
With the Heavenly Father.
Yeah. Or you can do it in the shower.
You can do it wherever.
Yeah,
you can just do it wherever you are.
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
Just it doesn't have to be something that's long.
But be intentional.
But be intentional.
And purposeful.
That's right.
About bringing the Holy Spirit, bringing the universe, bringing positive power, whatever you believe.
That's right.
Into your life. Because with everything coming at you all day long, you need to constantly recentering, refocus.
We have to. You know, that is who we are as a people.
Yeah.
You know, and so I mean, it's a blessing to have these principles that can guide us, that can give us a foundation for being who we're supposed to be for our families and our communities.
And that's the thing. Yeah. Because who are we doing this for? Sure, we're doing it for ourselves.
That's right.
But look at who you have been charged to protect, to love, to nurture.
That's right.
So that's purpose. We're here at House of Hathor with Jimmie Wright talking about Kwanza. We are up to day 6.
Yes, day 6. Day 6 has to do with Kaumba, which is creativity. Creativity has to do with our abilities. Yeah. What abilities have been given to us?
And we all have some.
And no one is born without any abilities at all.
That's right.
Our job is to find out what those abilities are.
Is.
Yeah. And so it could be something that is that you can find out early in elementary school, or it may happen as an adult.
Right. Yeah.
But we all are given certain abilities so that we may express them, so that we may manifest, create a better place, a better world than what we inherit.
Yeah. And everyone's creativity, like you said, is special. It's important. It's different.
Yes.
But it is just as unique as you are.
Yes.
And you're right. The key is figuring out what it is. You got it.
Yes.
You got it.
We all have.
You know, some people sing, act, dance. Some people make jewelry. Some people are talented.
That's right.
With technology, electricity, things like that. Those are all creativity. I think we think about creative as more of the arts, but it's not.
That's right. No, it's not. It's not. It's
about what you've been gifted with.
You could have been gifted to be a doctor. You know, so if you being a doctor, if that's what the Creator and the ancestors have given to you, then use it to better the community, use it to better the family, use it to make a better person of yourself.
So that's the goal, to determine what your creative talents are, and then use it to
make life
for
better.
Greater good.
For greater good. That's exactly right. That is Kaumba. Yeah.
You know, and I want to say this too. It doesn't matter how old you are.
No.
You know, I know a lot of times people grow up and they abandon what their first love was.
That's right.
You know, you love to cook, you love to sew, you always did one thing or another, but then family responsibilities took you somewhere else.
That's right.
But this is a great time during Kwanza to tap back into what your creative self is, what your creativity, what God gave you.
That's right.
What God gave you, and utilize it some way.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. And that is Kaumba. I mean, Kaumba attaches itself not only to purpose, but it also attaches itself to collective work and responsibility.
Collective work
So all of these principles, they tie in together. Without doing one, you can't do the other.
Yeah.
All of them are tying in with each other.
Yeah.
So the last one is Imani, which is faith. Having faith in the process.
Yeah. The process.
Yes.
The process.
Having faith in the process. Having faith in the unseen.
Yeah.
Having faith in the seen. So, and we're given all of this. We have to recognize, well, where does my faith lend itself in this, in the process, and because everything is a process. No matter what you do, there is a process in doing it. Right. And once you recognize and understand the process, then know that faith will help you have the strength, which lends to itself to self-determination. Faith will lend itself to having unity. Faith will lend itself to creativity within yourself, a sense of purpose for that creativity that you have. I have faith in myself, knowing that I'm going to be able to carry out whatever my intentions are for this day, because I'm going to do what it takes in order for that to take place. And so again, the Imani, which is faith, it is not the most important. It's just as important as having unity. Right. I have faith that our people are going to come together one day, and where we're going to be. Yes, we're going to be together. We're going to rise. Me too. Because the same energy that gives its way to the plants, to the sky, to the breath of life that we have, that is unseen faith. Why, how does this happen that I'm able to breathe and my intentions are linked to my breath of life? Yeah. So therefore, again, faith you can find faith in that. I know that as I breathe, my intentions are with it. So therefore, I'm going to carry out what my purpose is. And that is what faith is talking about. Yeah. So those are the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Let's go over all 7 of them once again. So we have Umoja. We have Kujichagulia. We have Ujima. We have Ujama. We have Nia, purpose. We have Kaumba, and then we have Imani, which is faith. The 7 principles of Kwanzaa. So listen, you can, get the candle holder, get the candles, light the candles, or you can just be conscientious about the 7 principles of Kwanzaa and make sure you just engage your family and friends with them every day of Kwanzaa, which is the 7 days after Christmas. It's an excellent opportunity, as we've said, to renew, enlighten, empower, just kind of get back centered so that you can go into the new year just revived and refreshed based on the principles of our ancestors. That's right. Yeah. And it's so important. It is so important. It is. It's so important. We've gone through so much in these last 2 years of the pandemic. And what better time to just kind of get it back together, renew and refocus on what you want for your life and for the lives of others in your circle. So Jimmie, thank you so much. This has been so beautiful. And of course, tell us when you're open here at the House of Hathor. We are open Monday through Saturday from 11 to 7. My wife and I, this store has been built. It was my vision, but it was her doing. It is her ingenuity. It is her creativity. And we're blessed. I'm blessed to make sure to know that we can carry out what our vision, our mission is for the store. Yeah. And it is our prayer as well as our meditation that we will be bigger for the community, so that the community can take part into everything that we have, here in the. We call it a temple store. So it's a temple, but it's a store as well. Yeah. It's an energy center. It is an energy center. It is. And it's beautiful, and it does have great positive energy. Stop by if you are in the Columbia, South Carolina area. If you're visiting Columbia, please stop by North Main Street in the Greenview Plaza. Shop, enjoy, and definitely support and patronize the House of Hathor. Yeah. And our address is 6820. North Main Street, Suite B in the Greenview Plaza, right off I-20. Yeah. So please come by and visit us. We have right across from the Pepsi plant. Right across from the Pepsi plant. And we will greet you. And we ask that you just come in and take part of the experience. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome. And thank you so much for sharing the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. I'm Tre Tailor. Thank you so much for joining us once again on Coping with COVID.
Hi, I'm Judy Gatson. As a news anchor, wife, and mom, I know how important it is to take care of our health. Part of taking care of our health is knowing if you're at risk of type 2 diabetes. Prediabetes is a serious health condition and puts you at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. It's estimated that more than 1.3 million South Carolinians have it, and up to 90% have no idea. Take a moment to visit inittogethersc.org to take an online test to find out your risk of prediabetes and how to join a diabetes prevention program that takes the guesswork out of losing weight, eating better, and being more active. You can learn new ways to stay healthy and sustain those changes over time. When you join, you'll even get support from a trained lifestyle coach to help you set and achieve realistic goals. Go to inittogethersc.org, brought to you by the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina.
Thank you so much for joining us for Coping. I'm Tre Tailor. Hey, don't forget, we are broadcasting live on the Tailor Made Production page on Facebook. Please go over there, hit like and share and follow, and get notifications as to when we go live Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday from In It Together and the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina. And then, of course, on Thursday and Friday. Speaking of tomorrow and Friday, tomorrow we've got brand new live shows. Sisters from South Carolina singing hip hop country. They're doing some big things, and we're going to talk to the Boykin sisters tomorrow. And then Friday, more of our series on happy holidays, less stress. We're going to talk about co-parenting, exes, and also blended families. That comes your way tomorrow. Right now, though, as always, we leave you with a reading from Jesus Calling. It's December 28th. I'm actually looking at a new devotional for next year. But this says, I am your refuge and your strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore, you don't need to be afraid of anything, not even cataclysmic circumstances. The media are increasingly devoted to fear-inducing subject matter, terrorism, serial killings, environmental catastrophes. If you focus on all of that and forget that I am your refuge in all circumstances, you can become increasingly fearful. Every day, the Lord says, I manifest my grace in countless places and situations. I not only shower blessings, but also outright miracles on the planet. As you grow closer to me, the Bible says, I open your eyes to see more and more of my presence all around you. Things that most people hardly notice, like shifting shades of sunlight, fill your heart with bursting joy. You have eyes that see and ears that hear. So proclaim my abiding presence in the world and in your world. That's your Jesus Calling for today. It is Wednesday, December 28th. I'm Tre Tailor. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Take care. God bless. Have a wonderful Wednesday. And we'll see you tomorrow right back here on Coping.
Peace of mind to survive through whatever. Coping, learning the way that we thrive all together. Coping, finding out what's real. Coping, we can heal, we can heal, we can heal. Coping with stress, coping with strife, bringing hope for success, for improving our life. Coping beyond hoping to do more than survive. Ways to live a healthy life. Coping and promoting, learning what you can do. 6 ways to a better you. Coping, find peace of mind to survive